In its quest to provide an open forum for discussion of controversial issues, this station allows hosts and their guests to express themselves without any significant censorship. You are advised that any view expressed by the host or their guest are not necessarily the views of the owners or management of TogiNet Radio, Togi Entertainment, or the Owners Group, Inc.
It's time for Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues today, with Sandra Beck and Christy Holly. Ladies, Motherhood Talk Radio is here to give you a powerful platform by giving you interesting, inspiring, and influential information as you navigate everything from childcare to corporate formation. Motherhood Talk Radio has interviews with best-selling authors, gurus of happiness, and women of interest who every single day make our world a better place for our families. Motherhood Talk Radio, powered by Motherhood Incorporated, is on the air now. Moms, this really is your show. Motherhood Talk Radio. And now, here are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Christy Holly.
Hey, mamas. This is Sandra Beck, and I am here with my co-host, Christy Holly.
Hey there, everyone.
See, and now you would think that after 15 shows, you would not have any nervousness.
I know. I do. I feel like it's just the beginning again.
Oh, that's what he wants to hear, not me. Well. So we had some fun this morning.
We did.
And we also have joining us today, we're going to give him a new name because Stupid Diet Guy is kind of negative, so we're going to call him Smart and Resourceful Guy.
Oh, no, that does not fit at all.
Okay, well, we'll just stick with Stupid Diet Guy.
Everybody knows Stupid Diet Guy.
Are you with us, Stupid Diet Guy?
Hey, ladies, how are you?
Hi.
We're off to a very inauspicious beginning on Motherhood Talk Radio. Okay, come on, don't give me that look. We have today a great show because we're going to bring in as part of our Fit to Strip challenge, which is ongoing because of its popularity and because of our inability to collectively lose a lot of weight. We're going to keep running the show and
till we are fit to strip.
Till we are fit to strip, rather than horrifying people on the internet.
Exactly.
It's the only porn site where people are like, cover it up! Summer's coming, people! right. Summer is over. We're waiting for next summer. But, so we have Stupid Diet Guy joining us today, Rick Swanson, and we have a really great guest. And his name is Frankie McConnel, and he is the owner of Acton Karate, which offers a variety of different classes, one that I take on a regular basis. And what's really cool about all this is that Christy took a class with me this morning, and Rick, you trained with Frankie.
I did, actually. It was several years ago now, but yeah, I did.
And how did that go for you?
You know what? It was great. At the same time, I think I was like 16 or 17 when I started, and at that time we were playing competitive tennis. So we would go like to a 2-hour tennis class, then hit Acton Karate for like 2 back-to-back self-defense classes. And I'll tell you what, it was a lot easier back then to stay in shape.
I bet.
So I ate what I wanted, and yeah.
How's that working out for you now?
Which part? The eating whatever you want? Oh, I don't know. You tell me. I'm not going to answer that one.
Okay. Smart man knows when to keep his mouth shut.
No, I miss it. I think the number one thing that I enjoyed about it, aside from the fitness cardio aspects of it, was it kind of just gives you an added level of like self-confidence and just that kind of what to do. And I think that's really critical. And I think Mr. McConnell can explain that in greater detail later, but just that you've already kind of rehearsed the worst-case scenario in your head, and then especially with like krav, and you just kind of have a heads up on, okay, if this happens, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to try this, this, and this. And it does give you a sense of, I guess, calm when you're out and about in public and you're not like walking with your head down.
Well, what if you're sitting next to me in the office and I just lunge over and grab you around the neck? Would you know what to do?
Yes, I'm not sure. I don't think you're going to like it, but but I mean that's also knowing your different levels. You don't want to, if it's your friend or your buddy and you're just like screwing around, and they just kind of grab you. Obviously, you're not going to like break their nose and break their leg, and that doesn't go over as well.
Yeah, I don't think my family would like you very much if you broke one of my limbs.
Right, exactly. So you have to know your target and, you know, respond with the appropriate level of force. You can't just, like, somebody looks at you, so you beat their head, and that's not law-abiding practice.
No, that would be left for some of the police officers listening today. Whoops, wait, what did I say that?
Excessive use of force, yes.
Excessive use of force, yes.
Right. Yes.
Well, but I think that you definitely have something to say about that, Rick. I mean, because I know, like, in periods in my life where I have felt less than powerful, you know, where maybe things are going bad in my life, or I'm really tired, or I have little small children that drain me of my energy, it's hard to feel powerful and strong. You know, because you're dumping loads of laundry in, or you're cooking dinner, or you're running over to the preschool. You know, those aren't really activities, Christy, do you think, that make us feel powerful? No. But something like, you know, Krav Maga or karate, or, you know, studying any of the martial arts, really, you know, and this is something we can talk to Frankie about, but it's like power begets power. It's like when you feel strong in your body, you know, you feel powerful in your mind. And, you know, I can see when I don't go to work out with Frankie that, you know, the decisions that I make, I don't feel as confident. And it's like when I am working out with him and I am taking the Krav Maga and I am studying, you know, there is discipline involved, but also when I go to make, like, decisions in my personal life or decisions in my business life, to have that strength of power behind you, that physical power, you have the confidence to make the decision, but also you have the confidence to fix it when it's wrong. You know, and I just think that's, like, one of the big things that has come out to me in studying, you know, any of the martial arts. Do you guys agree, disagree?
Well, I agree, totally. I haven't done it yet, but I can see, I totally agree.
And that's why you're my co-host.
No, I mean, just like watching you, I've known you for a while now, and you've been taking these classes, and it goes hand in hand with your mind and body, you know, and I can tell when I'm around you and you haven't gone to your classes. I can totally tell mentally.
Right, it's a different energy.
You know, it totally is. So I can say that with some enthusiasm because, you know, even though I haven't been going to the classes yet.
Well, you went today, so let's just say you haven't gone to any. It's actually your second one because I took you a couple months ago.
Yes, you did. And I could never catch my breath because, of course, I drank a gallon of coffee before I went, and then I worked as hard as I could, and then I couldn't breathe. So,
but you made it through the class?
I did make it through the class.
Both times?
Both times. I made it through the class this time, and it was good. I wasn't, I was out of breath. I'm like, okay, I'm out of shape, but it's also a good starting point for me to know, like, where I'm at. But I was proud of myself because I did finish.
Well, and you can kick seriously hard.
And I didn't pass out?
No, you didn't pass out. I mean, you kicked, and you can kick, and you need me pretty hard. And actually, I think you hit me in the face by accident.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I can get another chin.
Well, Frankie kicked me in the chin today.
Uh-oh.
But I got a stiff upper lip.
Yes. That's where they don't tell you about this in physical fitness, but the double chin.
Yeah, that's how you get rid of it. You have a karate instructor kick it off you.
Kick it off your face. But, you know, it's interesting, too, you know, when you think about, you know, the study of martial arts and the, you know, kind of the physical, you know, intimidation factor. It's like, you know, when Rick walks around the house, you know, he's such a big guy, and I'm conscious of the height difference. Christy's like, no, it's not. But I'm conscious of the height difference, and he's, you know, his arm's like twice the size of mine. And, you know, in a fight, you know, I would get killed. But with the stuff that I learn in what Frankie teaches in Krav Maga, it's like about getting away. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, breaking holds and things. And it's like, could I outstrength him? No. Could I outpower him? No. But could I, you know, get myself away from him, disable him, and run like hell?
Yes.
Yes, I could do that. So it's just been a really great experience, and I'm so happy that I can share it with you, Christy. And Rick, we're going to make you come to one of our classes so Christy and I can beat on you.
Yes, but I can't hold those things.
Can I beat back? Is that a fair exchange or no?
You can beat me back, but you can't beat Christy back because she's just starting.
Yeah, I'm new beginner.
Yeah, and it's just not nice to beat up your beginner friends.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So I did punch one of the other moms really hard. I won't use her name. But she, like, yeah, when I was running the Boy Scout meeting and one of these moms, you know, decided that she wasn't going to like what I was doing, 2 days later, showed up in krav. I hit that bag so hard, she almost flew across the room. And you know what? I felt better for it. Made me a better leader. Yes. Stronger, faster. All right, well, let's bring on our guest. His name is Frankie McConnel. He is the owner of Acton Karate. He's responsible for all the chaos that we're going on in this show, but he's an outstanding instructor. My kids study with him. My son, Max, has nothing but the greatest respect and admiration for him. And Zach, too, when Zach pays attention, he thinks Frankie's the bomb. But he's a wonderful instructor. He's been very patient with me. He's been very helpful, I think, to all of my whole family. And he's just an outstanding instructor. Are you there?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Frankie, welcome to the
Frankie.
show.
Great.
So,
Sorry about that. I'm a rookie.
It's hard to follow that. But one of the things, Frankie, that you have given me is the power to try. And I think, with a lot of stay-at-home moms, and I see it with Mandy, your wife, who sometimes studies in the class, the power to go and try makes a big difference in people's lives.
Exactly.
And what do you think? What do you think is the most important thing for anybody? And we're going to talk about this, as the segments go on. What do you think is the most important thing someone can think about when they're thinking of studying any sort of martial arts?
Well, the first thing I would think about is, don't worry. The number one thing I hear is, I want to get in shape before I go try a program. Well, that's what the programs are for. Get out there, try it, search for the school that you want. There's lots of schools over there. Anywhere you look for, search for something Krav Maga, fitness, MMA, anything. Most martial arts schools or gyms have programs like that. You got to get out there, feel what works for you, what feels good, and you'll start feeling good about yourself, and just go from there.
That is so great. We are here on Motherhood Talk Radio. My name is Sandra Beck. I'm here with my co-host, Christy Holly. We have Stupid Diet Guy here today, and we have Frankie McConnel, the owner and lead instructor at Acton Karate, and we want to challenge anybody out there who is lumpy, dumpy, frumpy, or fat, slovenly, you name it, unclean. Get yourself to the nearest gym. Get started. It's a wonderful thing, and we're going to tell you all the different reasons why when we come back after this break.
Mom, here's your show, Motherhood Talk Radio, giving you interesting, inspiring, and influential information as you navigate everything from childcare to corporate formation. This is Motherhood Talk Radio, and we'll be right back after these.
Hi everybody, this is Pete Dix of Beatles and Beyond. Why don't we all come together and hear some of the tracks off the latest Beatles release on this radio station. Yes, why don't you look up the schedules on this radio station and join me and Beatles listeners everywhere to hear these latest releases from the Beatles on Beatles and Beyond with Pete Dix.
Look who's on, it's the Dakota Man Keith and he's number one. Now you might think Juan's youth was sad, right? Cause he had a death, dear mommy and dad, right? But that ain't the case, it wasn't his fate, no. The Juan's never struggled to communicate. Y'all wave your hands, look who's on, it's the Dakota Man Keith and he's number one.
It's That Keith Wan Show on TogiNet.com, Wednesday nights at 8, 7 Central. Every week, That Keith Wan Show will have guests that share their experiences, expertise, opinions, and personal lives with us to hopefully help us better understand others. The topics and guests will come from the American Sign Language community. For more on Keith Wan and the show, go to his website, KeithWan.com. Listen with an open mind and willingness to learn and help with the cultural bridge.
Number one, Keith's number one. Everybody clap cause the Dakota Man's on. Number one, Keith's number one. Everybody clap cause the Dakota man's on.
Don't miss That Keith Wan Show. Wednesday nights at 8, 7 Central on TogiNet.com. Welcome back to Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues. For more information, check out the website, motherhoodtalkradio.com. Now, let's get back to the show with your hosts, Sandra Beck and Christy Holly.
Hey, mamas, this is Sandra Beck of Motherhood Talk Radio, and I'm here with my co-host, Christy Holly. Hello. And we have segment producer, a.k.a. Stupid Diet Guy, Rick Swanson.
Hey.
And we have our guest today, Frankie McConnel, who is the owner of a martial arts studio in Acton, California, called Acton Karate. And he's going to talk with us today a little bit about self-defense, about, what happens to you when you work with your physical body and your sense of power and attitude, and especially as it relates to women. And, Christy, it's really amazing to me, you have studied this class now twice, and prior to that, you and I used to take some spin classes last year, and we did some walking and stuff like that, but realistically, this is a new venture for you, this martial arts thing?
Yeah, I mean, years and years and years ago, I took, kickboxing, I did it at a studio for a while, but I wasn't there. I was there to lose weight. I wasn't there to, really learn the art, but, so I've learned some of the techniques and just, going through typo and all the different things I've learned, I've picked up on some stuff, but, this is really,
Well, it's empowering.
Yeah, it is. It totally is.
Well, and I think because, in Taibo and a lot of the different kickboxing, different classes I've taken, and I know Carrie, we're going to say hi to Carrie in Texas,
hi,
our producer. She does Zumba. This is one of the few classes that talks about an attacker getting away. It gets really physical. You actually, we were talking today, it's a good thing that we both smelled fine, because you actually have to, grab me around the neck, and I grab you around the neck, and, you get kind of close one-on-one.
I was totally going, oh, my gosh, I hope my breath doesn't stink. I hope I don't have any burrs in my nose. I was just all these things are going through my mind also.
Well, and and you're sweating buckets while you do it.
Yeah.
So you're oh, my sweat just fell on your arm. I'm so sorry.
I know, I'm stinky, I'm sweaty.
But give me a hug. But the end result is that it does. Did you leave today feeling more powerful? I mean, other than shit.
I have to say, I didn't walk right out of the studio. I was crawling out of there. No, I did after an hour and a half after I got home. I was I felt good. It was still all red an hour and a half after the class.
Yeah, it's a workout.
Yeah. But, I know because I haven't worked out in a while that,
right, that's part of anything.
Part of, a beginning workout for me. But as far as feeling powerful, finishing a class, doing those moves, I did. Because I do think about getting attacked all the time for some reason.
Because you're my friend.
I always have these worst-case scenarios go through my head all the time. So, I am so, I'm looking forward to learning all this stuff because, if something ever happens to me, I want to be able to get away. I want to kick somebody's butt and get away. And, I want to know how to do that. I don't want to scream and, fall apart. I want to know what to do.
Well, and how great is it that you get thinner, while you learn this? It's a good workout.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I would love to see that happen.
It will. I mean, I've gone down 2 pant sizes since I've started just because of, the kicking and all this stuff. But that's for another show. We're going to talk about, and Rick, you pulled some information about women and becoming or getting attacked and kind of what people look for.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I did. And I think it doesn't just apply to women. It could be for guys out there, and it doesn't matter what age. But, it talks a lot about body language and what looks like a strong person or a difficult person to attack versus someone's like, oh, that person looks easy, I can take them. And, person that's not confident, you'll see symptoms like slouched shoulders, their heads are down, they have their arms folded, or the hands in the pockets, all things, and I think Frankie would agree with me, those are tactical errors. I mean, those are just, it's kind of like you're asking to get negative attention, as opposed to walking tall, having your shoulders back, head up, and then, I think the most important is eye contact.
Absolutely.
I can tell a lot about a person and their confidence level by looking at their face. If they match my gaze, I go, okay, here's a confident person. They're aware of their surroundings. If I look at somebody, on the other hand, and they start looking down or looking away, I'm like, okay, there's an individual who's not as secure. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Hey, Frankie, what, when you teach your classes, I mean, you always tell us to stand at the ready, you give us the stance, you tell us to where to put your hands, but what is it about, the study of martial arts that builds that innate confidence?
It's all about building, it's all about balance, anything. And, in our classes, too, we always start from a neutral position, maybe an uncomfortable position. I think it was Christy earlier mentioned that, or maybe it was you that mentioned it was uncomfortable in places, you're all sweaty and you were afraid, someone was afraid they didn't, had bad breath or something like that. Well, that's part of the reality-based training that you're getting when you're training Krav Maga. And to get that, training with that intensity, your skills that are in you already, you don't even have to learn them. You're just going to train. It's basically you're just training your spirit, your physical powers that you already have. And in Krav Maga, we just use basic moves that are already, as an infant, something's in your eye, you bring your hand up. The Krav Maga, another thing of Krav Maga is you eliminate the threat. And basically the only rule is get home safe. So there are no rules.
Well, and that's what I think was most exciting for me when I first started studying with you, Frankie. And if you can share with our listeners who might not know what Krav Maga is, what is it and how did it originate?
Okay, Krav Maga originated in Israel. It was designed for the military army. It was developed to bring all people to train in the army, any level, men, women, older, younger, to get them to a high level quickly. And it's been used over here in the States for years. Most of the law enforcement use it, and it's real popular out here in the big cities and some of the smaller cities like Acton.
How does it differ from traditional martial arts?
Well, traditional martial arts are usually designed to take a little bit longer, where you have more time. You have more time to complete a task. Krav Maga is based on reality self-defense, like someone's going to grab you around the neck. What do you do to get rid of it? What do you do to eliminate the threat? You pluck. We use a plucking motion.
And the plucking is just where you literally put your fingers up by your neck, your hands, and you just pluck them away from your neck.
Exactly. Something's on your throat, you just pluck the hands away really quick. No grabbing involved or anything. So things like that don't take as long to learn as a traditional martial art. Now, our learned responses better. They could be. But you got to remember the first thing is why we're training Krav Maga is because we want to get to a high level quickly. So,
and do you find that this is a really good program for moms and who might be stay-at-home moms and they don't tend to go out into situations as much other than to the school, the grocery store, so that they wouldn't have innate confidence that they have to go somewhere out of their comfort zone. It could give them the confidence to maybe expand their boundaries. Exactly.
And on the same note, it's you can learn out of maybe one class a week or one class every other week. It doesn't take a lot of classes to learn enough to feel confident, and that's another thing it's all about is your confidence. And I think Rick said that earlier was the confidence is, you're walking with your head high, you're less likely to be a victim.
It's true. I mean, I think of that. It's and it harks back to the Animal Kingdom. I watch all these Discovery Channel shows at 11 o'clock at night. But if you watch a cheetah, a cheetah's coming out of the bush. It's not going for the biggest, strongest gazelle. It's looking for the wimpy one over on the side with the bum leg who's just stumbling around, looking at the plants. Not paying attention. I mean, I would think a predator is a predator, whether it's an animal or a human.
Exactly.
And Stupid Dyke, you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, I would definitely go along with that. But I just wanted to ask Frankie one other thing, is that how important do you think, the mental component is to self-defense and making it out of an altercation, alive?
What is my phone cut out? What was that first part again?
Oh, yes. The how important do you think it is, the mental aspect of, martial arts, self-defense, when you get into that worst-case scenario? I mean, how important is that in the back of your mind saying, okay, I've rehearsed this, I know what things I need to do to get out?
Well, see, that's all about the training, and one of my sayings, or one of my friends' sayings, is you have to train like your life depends on it, because it does. Right. And it's when the time comes, you're going to be nervous, it's going to be uncomfortable, and you're going to be real surprised at what you do. You'll be proud of yourself, for sure.
Right. And now, question I had real quick with Krav Maga, and I've done some, law enforcement, self-defense, stuff like that, and I've also, I trained with you a couple of years back. How does it differ? Is Krav Maga, would you say it's also more like instinctual, like gross motor skill reactions? Because I know when you get into that confrontation, your heart starts pumping, you lose a lot of that dexterity in your hands and everything like that. Would you agree with that, or? I would totally agree with that. Krav Maga is more explosive. You hit everything head on with Krav Maga. Number one thing is you eliminate the threat, and then you go from there. You eliminate the threat, and you run like crazy.
That works for me.
Yeah. Right. I think a lot of guys, especially guys, I mean, I can only really speak for guys here, honestly. But a part of us is like, it's that we want to think we're all, bad and tough, and we kind of disregard that, I guess, component of, taking care of the threat and then, get the heck out of there. You don't need to stay and keep, if you knock them down and you get free, go ahead and run. You're not retreating, you're redeploying, essentially.
Yes.
Right.
Well, and I guess it's like, the old thing, it's like we're not going to pick a fight and that, so that we can go and hit people. We're more defending ourselves and trying to get away in Krav Maga.
Exactly. That is totally the Krav Maga thing. You're going to defend yourself and get away at the same time.
It's a great class. It's so much fun, and I would encourage all of our listeners out there today to check out for Krav Maga. That's spelled KravMaga, Krav Maga, and it's offered at local karate studios. Some gyms offer it. My name is Sandra Beck. I'm here on Motherhood Talk Radio with Christy Holly, Rick Swanson, and Frankie McConnel of Acton Karate. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about some more exciting things, and we're going to hear how Christy fared 6 hours later after her class.
From me or him?
Mom, here's your show, Motherhood Talk Radio, giving you interesting, inspiring, and influential information as you navigate everything from childcare to corporate formation. This is Motherhood Talk Radio, and we'll be right back after these. Congratulations on being the proud owner of an adorable, soft, cuddly, sweet-smelling, smiling, cooing, hungry, tired, gassy, screaming little bundle of joy. So now what? Where's the owner's manual for this thing? Where are my instructions? Right here. It's Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet.com. Infant care specialist Blythe Lipman has worked with babies for over 20 years and works extensively with new parents, providing workshops, in-home visits, tips, and daily phone calls to ease those frazzled nerves. With Baby and Toddler Instructions, you can get the advice you need on how to survive and enjoy your baby's first year. For more information on Blythe and how she can help you, go to babyinstructions.com. From 32 ways to stop a baby from crying to 14 ways to get a baby to eat and so much more. It's Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet.com. Okay, we will. We're going to teach you how to tell your money where to go. It's Intelligent Investing with Pam Otten on TogiNet. Learn how to be a savvy investor from someone who has your best interest at heart. Pam Otten is a financial advisor who loves to help successful business owners and entrepreneurs understand the mysteries of the investment world, and she's not afraid to share that knowledge. Pam is an unashamed Christian and qualified kingdom advisor, which means she's trained and committed to integrating biblical principles into her financial advice. Pam believes investing isn't rocket science. This is the financial advisor who's in your corner and truly understands and cares about you and helping you achieve your goals. Securities and advisory services are offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. It's Intelligent Investing with Pam Otten on TogiNet. Welcome back to Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues. For more information, check out the website, motherhoodtalkradio.com. Now, let's get back to the show with your hosts, Sandra Beck and Christy Holly.
Hey, mamas, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here at Motherhood Talk Radio with Christy Holly, Rick Swanson, and we have just a very powerful day today. We're talking about getting strong, getting fit, using martial arts, specifically Krav Maga, and how to not only train our bodies to perform better, but also to train our minds and to build confidence, which is something, it's so popular. It's like, my gosh, I have to turn on this Oprah, Dr. Phil, any of the TV stations, and it's like, oh, he was doing this because of lack of confidence. So, it's so old, but I'm here to tell you that, I started with Frankie at a really low point in my life, very difficult. I had just filed for divorce. I had restructured my whole company in my life, and I was not feeling strong and powerful. And Frankie, you probably remember me coming in and punching and crying at the same time. I did. I would punch so hard, and he would hold the bag, and I'd start to cry, and he'd like, punch it out, punch it out. But it really worked. It really worked, and I would encourage anybody listening today that's going through any sort of personal trouble, whether it's with a child, with a spouse, with a family member, or even a friend, that all those thoughts and all those experiences have energy, and that energy needs to go somewhere. And I found that working out with you, Frankie, really made a huge difference.
Thanks. That's what I want. I want Krav Maga and our services offered to make a difference with people, and if you just give it a chance, like you have, then it will make a difference.
It will, and I didn't give up. Even when I broke my arm, I think the first year, I broke my arm partway through, and Frankie will tell you, I went and worked out. I showed up for class. I didn't hit with that hand, but
well, it's funny that you say that. Just a couple of weeks ago, my Krav Maga instructor, he makes these things like 1 week it'll be impaired vision week, 1 week it'll be injured limb week, and a couple of weeks ago we were all working out with injured limbs, so we would tape up an arm or a finger or something. So that's part of Krav Maga. You've got to it's just like life. You've got to go on even if you have an injury.
It is, and there's so many life lessons that that I have learned in studying with you, and and it's funny because on the break, Christy asked a really good question, and I'll let her phrase it, but it has to do with moms out there listening today. What do you teach your kids? How do you teach your kids? So, Christy, go ahead and ask your question.
Well, what I wanted to know was, you said, with the Krav Maga class, it's the self-defense, you learn it quickly, as opposed to karate takes a little more time. I don't really know much time, but it takes more time. Well, what do you think about, because I want my kids to learn self-defense, so do I have them learn through Krav Maga or through karate? Because I want them to know how to get away from somebody, like right now. So what do you do? What do you think?
Well, what I think, since you're local, I'd say you come on down to our place, and I'll hook you up with the classes that you need for your kids. But for the listeners, what I would say would be to first check out the school. But Krav Maga is not available there are some kids Krav Maga. It's kind of new because basically Krav Maga deals with, we say reality self-defense, but it's more, that really means street self-defense. So, kids need, a balanced martial art where, they're on the playground, some kid grabs them, like Rick said earlier, somebody that grabs them, your defense is not going to be, smash your partner and your buddy in the nose. You're at school, you're on the playground. So actually the kids have a lot more at stake than, us with our street self-defense, so they have to think, okay, what are the consequences of my actions here? Should I just walk away? Should I break away from the wrist grab that my buddy's got and leave? And there's a lot of bully things going on at school right now, and that's part of the reason why traditional martial arts takes a little bit longer to learn than Krav Maga, because there's a lot more of battlefields that you're dealing with, with the bullying and things like that.
Okay. Because that's one thing that I'm concerned about is the bullying, because, you know, I would never want to have my kids go through anything like that. And I always, you know, as for me as a kid, I was, you know, I got bullied a little bit, but and I didn't have the confidence. I was, you know, a little overweight child. Oh, did you have glasses too? I did in the 3rd grade. Oh, you know, so I would never speak up. I mean, I had low self-esteem, and I didn't have the confidence. You know, right now, all 3 of my kids have a ton of confidence, but I would never want that to be crushed by some other kid.
Exactly.
You know, who's bigger than them, and just, you know, okay, she's not listening. I have a niece who bullies my daughter, and I can't stand it, but I don't have the tools to give to my daughter yet. So that's,
right.
You know, where I'm coming from.
The operative word being yet, because you will get the tools. I know if you study with Frankie, if you study the Krav Maga, you know, and I can tell a great story, and then I'm going to throw the mic over to Rick. He's got some other great things to bring up, but there was a point at which my 7-year-old hopped in my big jacuzzi tub, and I said, no, get in your own tub. You know, he gets in the big tub, and he's got the jets going, he's got the water going, and I'm like, you need to get out now. And, you know, there's no dad for me to go, wait till your father gets home, you know, so I couldn't throw that fish at him. But, you know, I'm like, get out of the tub, get out of the tub, get out of the tub. And he was like, I'm not going to get out of the tub, and you can't make me. So I did. I climbed in that tub in my pants. You know, I had jeans on and a T-shirt, and I pulled him up from the tub, and I said, get out now. And I had grabbed both his forearms, you know, not to hurt him, but just to say, to get his attention, like, you need to mind me, you need to listen to me. He looked at me, and Frankie, I know this was all you. He did the wrist break, he stepped back in stance, and he didn't hit me or anything, but he got in the ready stance, and I was like, part of me was like, damn, like, I would not have known to do that. I just let my brothers pick me up by my head and run around. He was at the ready. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, if he's at the ready, and he was like a 6 or 5 at the time, if he's at the ready at this point, how is he going to be when he's older? That's going to grow up with him as innate confidence. And to me, that's like one of the greatest gifts that Frankie in the martial arts training could possibly give him, is that innate ability to react. And what's really cool, and, you know, you guys all know my son Max, he's not a ballistic kid. He's not going, you know, karate crazy on all the kids in the playground. I mean, you're really clear about appropriate use of force.
Yeah, you know, and all of that's going to be in him, too. He's not going to forget those things. You know, the things that he's going to learn through his, you know, his instructors and his coaches are going to be in him for the rest of his life. He's going to carry it on, and you won't have to worry about that. And Max is a great kid. You know, he's the perfect student for martial arts as a kid because he's got the right attitude, and you're not going to have to worry about, you know, him picking a fight with some other kid or things like that. So.
But it's important. I mean, it's important what you've taught him, because one of the things, and then, Rick, we're going to talk about appropriate use of force, but one of the things that's taught in martial arts, and definitely taught in Acton Karate, is discipline. And it's like, when do you use this, and how do you use this? And there's so much more behind it than just learning moves. And, Frankie, what are some of the principles that you teach?
Some of the principles are in our regular martial arts is courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. And we use a lot of those things, same things in Krav Maga, except maybe not so many of those words.
Well, and those things are really important principles to teach a child, and it's really hard to teach them when they'd rather play Wii, and, you know, they're running around, you know, with all this technology. And this is some basic, fundamental, like, get down to the grassroots kind of, you know, raising that we can give our kids and use, you know, a class like yours to teach them that. Hey, Rick, you had some questions. I'm sorry, we've gone really long, and I didn't mean to ignore you. I kind of did, but...
No problem. No, I really just kind of want to piggyback on what Frankie was saying. I remember a couple of years back, Frankie would always talk about something about soft defense versus hard defense. And that's something that always kind of stuck with me, and it's like, that's a case-by-case, it's different, each scenario, and that's something, like you said, with more traditional martial arts, you get better and better at discerning and making that decision quicker and quicker, like versus bullying as opposed to some dude's coming at you with a stick and is going to beat your head in. knowing when to use a wrist lock or an arm bar versus, breaking a rib with a side kick.
Yes, exactly. And that's, hard and soft. For the listeners, the difference between the hard and soft self-defense, hard would mean, you're defending yourself and you're striking also. And soft would mean that you're making the person submit. And those two, the latter of the two, the soft self-defense, actually does take a lot longer to develop because it would be for someone, let's say someone stronger against a weaker opponent.
Right.
And that's where the traditional martial arts differ because they train both hard and soft.
Right. Well, I mean, I even see that if anyone, I don't know how many of you guys watch UFC regularly, but you see them, even the fighters, they're switching from soft and hard all the time now, and you see more and more fights that are ended with the submission. So,
yes, exactly.
Whether it's self-defense or a sport, it's applicable.
Right. And the MMA is real popular. We actually have added that into our program too.
What is MMA?
Mixed martial arts. For the listeners, if they're looking for a place, you could just Google in your area MMA mixed martial arts. There's a lot of places there locally. Krav Maga, and with our program, I like to add a little CrossFit, which is why you two probably be sore this afternoon or tomorrow. Rick, you got to get in on some of that sometime soon with the interval training, things like that. But
is that why you make us run back and forth?
That's just the warm up. Oh. That's just the warm up. Those are the fatigue drills that you get just to get you going, just to get you loosened up. But the mixed martial arts, that's more towards from the 18 to the 30-year-old male, when we do the stand-up, and then we do the grappling and things like that, which involve the submissions.
Okay. Well, wow. We can check out Acton Karate at www.acton karate.com to learn more about, the different karate and mixed martial arts classes that are available. And one of the things I wanted to ask you, Frankie, before we go to break is I'd like you to give our listeners, if you could ask them to take away from this show one piece of advice from you as an expert, and you truly are an expert, what would it be? And you got 30 seconds, so keep it short.
Okay. One bit of advice, I would say that, whether you're looking to if you feel like you want to get in shape, you feel like you want to lose a couple of sizes or pounds or whatever, or self-defense, I would say pull out the yellow pages, get on the internet, search for a place, go down there and meet the instructor. There's lots of great instructors out there that have dedicated their time to increasing their art or their field, whatever they're doing, and get out there and find yourself a place to work out.
Mom, here's your show, Motherhood Talk Radio, giving you interesting, inspiring, and influential information as you navigate everything from childcare to corporate formation. This is Motherhood Talk Radio, and we'll be right back after these. If you're ready for a big change in your work, your career, your happiness, your life, it's time for the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com. Marla believes that with the right mindset, anything is possible. Join us as successful life coach Marla Tabaka inspires you and her clients to explore, discover, and live your dreams by developing what she calls the $1 Million Mindset. Marla will inspire you to take action on your dreams and reveal secrets to success that will help you realize your own unique power. Tune into the $1 Million Mindset for heartwarming stories with Marla Tabaka. Learn tips and tricks to building a successful business and unlock the secrets to creating a happier, more balanced life through abundant thinking and attraction power. For more information on the $1 Million Mindset, go to our website, marlatabaka.com. That's MarlaTabaka.com. It's the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 2, 1 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Girlfriend It is on TogiNet. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, with your hosts Patty Wyatt and Lisa Jernigan. This show is your chance to share, learn, laugh, and connect with other women. The Girlfriended principle was born out of loss.
Lisa had recently had her mother pass away from cancer, and my mom was murdered. A man just walking into a room and started a 23-second shooting spree.
I think one of the things we both realized going through those tragedies that you can be extremely okay and be extremely sad.
Check out Girlfriended.com and then be a part of Girlfriended, the radio show. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central.
You know, your boyfriend or your husband or whatever, they don't totally understand that emotional side to women like another woman does. And I think that's so important just to have somebody that you go, she gets me.
Check out the website, Girlfriended.com. Don't miss Girlfriended with Patty Wyatt and Lisa Jernigan. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Welcome back to Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues. For more information, check out the website, motherhoodtalkradio.com. Now, let's get back to the show with your hosts, Sandra Beck and Christy Holly.
Hey, mamas, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here on Motherhood Talk Radio. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Christy Holly, and segment producer, Rick Swanson. We have a really great show today. We're talking about self-defense as it relates to personal strength, and we have the martial arts instructor of Acton Karate with us today. He's the owner and operator, and he is also a family man. So I'm going to ask you a couple personal questions, Frankie, because this relates to the moms at home. I think there's a lot of moms maybe listening to this show today that think, oh, you know, I can't do this, and that's great that Christy and Sandy do this because it's part of the radio show, but your whole family studies martial arts, correct?
Yes, they do.
And your wife, Mandy, who is just delightful, can kick stronger than almost anyone I know.
Yeah, she can kick pretty hard.
Yeah, she probably kicks you around the kitchen, I can imagine.
Exactly.
But your children, you have two children as well who study.
Right, Austin and Mason. Right, they both do study. They do our regular martial arts program.
See, and that's just outstanding. I mean, it's a whole family, and, you know, my whole family, I mean, Wacky's getting old enough soon to be able to pay attention through the class, and I hope to put him in your program as well because I see what it's done for me. I see what it's done for Max, and, you know, navigating the divorce that we went through, which was an ugly divorce in this household, it gave us a huge outlet of a place to go, and Krav Maga, in my opinion, is almost like being able to go and throw a 3-year-old tantrum because you get to yell, you get to kick, you get to punch. I mean, it's controlled, you know, so you're not hurting the other people, and there's pads and different fun things you can do. But at the end of the class, I mean, I'm tired, I'm sweaty, I stink, and I leave. Sometimes, Frankie, you've seen me, I come into the class, and it's like I got my cell phone's ringing, I've got a million things on my mind. You are able to bring all that down into focus just to the task at hand, which is punching or kicking, or sometimes you have us lay on the ground and kick. Sometimes there's two attackers and you have to think and punch. But every single time, without fail, I leave that class exhausted, but in a such better frame of mind than when I entered. And that, to me, is, you know, the weight loss is great, the fitness is great, the self-defense is great, but the change of state that happens when you come in from the time you leave, to me, is better than any drug on the market.
I agree. I totally agree. And, you know, what you just said, it just means that the program works. And with our Krav Maga, we throw out things that don't work. If it's not working for you, you don't do it. And then that just leaves all the things that do work and you're going to benefit from. All the punching, all the kicking from the ground, all the drills, the aggressive drills, the barrier drills, the focus drills, things like that. It's all about the drills.
Well, and do you think, I mean, you know, like you teach all these classes, I mean, the age range is something that I find interesting in Krav Maga, too, that you've got kind of really young to, meaning, you know, young, like, you know, 19, 18-year-old, up to, I mean, your oldest student's got to be, one of them there's got to be in her 60s.
Yes, you know, it's funny that you say that because, you know, that just proves the Krav Maga point right there, because it's to bring all people to a high level quickly. And yes, we've had, our youngest in Krav that we allowed to come to the class is 13, and the grandmother that joined, I think she's 60 or 62, and she's already lost 11 pounds, she said, and she's a go-getter.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny, Frankie, to watch from the beginning of this class, which started, a year and a half ago, something like that, or 2 years ago. I don't remember. In the beginning, it was just straight athletes. You look around and you saw these strong women, and they were fit, and it was very intimidating when I first walked in there, because I'm like, oh, crap, there's no way I'm going to even finish this class. Mm-hmm. But then now I look at it, and, your classes have grown, and more local women are joining, because it's really powerful and important and a great workout, and it's not terribly expensive to do. You have all these different ranges now. It's like word's getting out that this is a great thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, word of mouth is the best thing. People they're attaining their goals. They're feeling good about themselves. And that's why the classes are full and they're filling up. And we've had our program for a year and a half now. And I have opened, I think we have 6 Krav classes, and then the rest are our regular martial arts program. So that's our biggest growing program that we have.
Well, and it says that, you're definitely doing something right. And, what's interesting, too, is, this is going to sound really obnoxious, and I'm sure we're going to get letters written in after my fat comment, a couple of weeks ago. Fat. I'm going to say fat. But, to be honest, there are fat people in there. There are skinny people in there. There are really short little women that you could go and, blow them across the room. And then there's some, not so slim women in there, and some are good athletes, some are not. Like, Dawn, who's a marathon runner.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She frightens me.
Me too. I was just saying right off the bat.
We love her. She's a delightful woman, but,
you're right, and there's people in there that have had, they've trained, like when Rick shows up, if he's not over there asleep already, but if Rick shows up to class, Rick can come take it, and he's had some experience, and he's going to be in the class with people that may be there for their first time, and they're all going to be working out, sweating together.
Well, and, we're going to do that because, one of the things about radio is it's not visual, and every once in a while I have put visuals up, and, but I'm going to take some pictures of Christy and Rick and myself and Frankie training so that people can see, and we'll put it up on our blog, we'll put it up on the Motherhood blog, and, we might make a YouTube video at some point, that can help, help families, because our radio show is about helping families, and, there may be some people in rural areas, which we are all rural, right, Rick?
Exactly.
Frankie?
Yes, absolutely.
Where are you from?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm from Texas. I'm from Marshall, Texas.
You couldn't tell, Sandra?
What?
You couldn't tell that?
Yeah, you think? And Carrie's in East Texas, our segment producer, and Christy, you're probably the only city girl on the block.
I know.
But that's okay. We're going to kick your ass.
Just wait till I go to some more of these classes. I will kick your ass.
Right. It's Motherhood Fight Night.
Right.
But it is. It's really important that, no matter what your age, no matter what your fitness level is, to start doing something physical, because it does make you feel so much better, and it does make you, you're able to get through your day more.
Absolutely.
Now, let's see. Carrie she can hear us right now. She's our producer in Texas, and Frankie has just let us know that in East Texas there's a Krav Maga in Tyler, so she can go check it out.
Yahoo!
So, Christy, 6 hours after your class, status report on the body.
Okay, right now, I have to admit, I took a little snooze because I was tired and our power was out. So, anyways,
right, we can't clean if our power is out,
and we can't take showers either because it doesn't heat the water. But anyhow, no, right now I feel good. Tomorrow will be a different story because that happened the last time, and I was sore for more than a week. But no, right now I feel super great. I feel great.
You do feel energized. But I'll be honest, there's a couple of workouts, and Frankie, there was one that you made us lay on our backs, and you ran around with some pad, and you would not throw it at us, but he'd go like, whoa! And we would have to like kick from the ground. And sometimes, he'd be by your ear, by your head, and you're having to use your whole body to kind of like crawl around the floor like a crab and kick. And after that class, that's a memorable one because I was laying in that same big jacuzzi tub where I had a fight with Max. I couldn't get up. And I was like, it's already double size. I'm holding onto the rails going, my stomach hurts so bad I couldn't sit up. And I literally had to, like, roll over and get out, like a crippled person out of the tub. I mean, I don't think we can say crippled anymore, but I don't know. I'm sure there's some politically correct way to say it.
You're
but
getting in trouble for that.
I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Fat, crippled, might as well get them both. But it was, there's been a couple times where after the classes, it's pretty painful.
Yeah, those ground drills are crazy. It's funny because I say get on the ground. It's time to rest. You would think, okay, we're going to get to rest a little bit, but those drills are harder than the ones where you stand up.
Absolutely,
and that's why you feel it.
Well, my favorite one still is that kick one. How many kicks do you try to do in them? Like 2 minutes? What is the drill?
Oh, the 250 kick challenge. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll have to get Ricky on that one.
Yeah,
definitely. I miss it. I do miss it.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube video waiting to happen.
No.
So, Christy, all in all, would you say that it was a positive experience today?
Oh, totally. I would totally say it was a positive experience. I loved it. It.
What was your favorite part of the class?
My favorite part is probably like the kicking, and just the straight punching because it feels good to just be able to get all that energy out and just get it out. It is a great stress release. It feels good, and sometimes I could picture people's faces on that, so that's good.
Oh, I do that a lot.
But no, it makes me feel more powerful to do that. And when it hits like the right way, and you can hear the sound of it and the feel of it, it's even better. It does, because, I didn't know how, I hate to say this, we used to fight with my brothers all the time. I mean, not fight, but I punched like a girl when I came to krav. And I remember, Frankie, you showing me how to hold my hand and how to punch effectively. And, and it didn't take 3 months for me to learn how to punch correctly. It was like, hey, Stan, do this, turn your wrist here, put your leg back, punch, pow. I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. And I loved it because it's not something that it wasn't like something just, there's a starting point for me, and I like that I know I can improve on it, and I'll just get better and better and stronger, and I like that feeling. Well, and the stronger thing, I'll tell you, is great, because my son is 60 pounds, and sometimes I have to carry him up the stairs to his bed, and, that's a load. That's like, what is a bag of cement? I think 50 pounds? Yeah. And you lift that thing up every night, and I noticed a difference in the physical activities that I have to do, taking the trash out, carrying the laundry up, carrying the kids up, lugging in the groceries. It's like I toss on 2 flats of soda, and I'm walking in, look at me. I don't need no help. I don't need no help. And but Rona, you did not hear that. We are not drinking soda. Well, you guys, this has been an outstanding show. I want to thank our guest, Frankie McConnel of Acton Karate. Go ahead and check out his website, www.actonkarate.com. For those of you interested in Krav Maga, check out Krav Maga, KravMaga Alliance, ALLIANCE.com. We've got Rick Swanson, Christy Holly, Sandra Beck. We are all going to take a Krav course before the next Fit to Strip challenge, and we're going to check in with Frankie at that time. Have a great week, guys.
Thank you for being a part of Motherhood Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Christy Holly on TogiNet.com. Join us every Tuesday as we